Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. It is Sunday night. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I had a great weekend. I was at an amazing wedding. So special congratulations to Jeff and Lauren. I mean, it was a beautiful wedding. I mean, this thing was incredible. So had an amazing time, great people there, and that was so much fun. And just kind of getting back into the swing of things. Not gonna lie, and it was a late night, but it's all good. It was a lot of fun. Hope everybody else had a great weekend. And let's check out the market, see what's going to be popping this week. We do have a short week, Good Friday on Friday. It is my birthday, so I have a day off on my birthday. It'll be nice. It is a Good Friday. The market's celebrating for me. That's pretty nice. And then we have Easter Sunday. So, and back to a full week next week. So let's get through the market, see what's happening, and we'll get cruising here for our Sunday night. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And here we go. The heat map was green on Friday. I was actually surprised. Trump did a U-turn, and then he did another U-turn today and said that the tariffs will still be on. So I'm pretty sure things were red in the futures right now. So I'm not sure if they're going to reflect it right there. I'm not sure when that's from. That could be from Friday. I'm not exactly sure. And but the market was green Friday, and let's see what we're looking at for this week, because it's going to be an interesting one. I can tell you that right now. And like I said, U-turns with the tariffs. We already know what's going on. We don't have to beat it in, but for those of you that are just tuning in new, I appreciate it. Greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. And yeah, we just know they're using tariffs to control the market so that they can get their agenda done, which is get the interest rates down so that they can actually get things moving. You can't have the interest rates up like this, have markets flying up. It won't work out too well. And they know that. So now they're just, pulling the old tariffs around and making everything all crazy. And I think I think everybody realizes Trump has the market like that. I believe the Fed's going to obviously knows what's going on, and they're going to have to give in at some point right here, because they know what he needs to get done, his agenda. Of course, they want to fight it, but it's not going to work for very long. So I have a feeling that you're going to see this not last much longer, and probably all the tariff stuff try to come to an end soon. And we've already talked about the overall agenda is apparently to have an open trade agreement between Europe and and America, and that would make the markets absolutely just go ballistic. It would go nuts, and I could see it happening. So that's what you're looking at in the future. That's what it at least looks like at the moment. So don't panic that things are down, because they definitely have it calculated, and they know exactly what they're doing. And we've been rocking and rolling through this market like it's no big deal. We actually know every day exactly what's going to happen on Sunday night. Sometimes it's a little difficult, especially right now, but he did do that U-turn. It should be red in the morning, I would expect. And we'll go through them and see what's happening. So let's get rolling here. And again, I hope everybody had a great weekend. And let's see what's happening with our logic mark right here, LGMK. And it was just sitting there flat on Friday. Let's face it. It was up, it was down, but it was curling up, guys. It looks good. It was like down at some points, up it a little bit, wanting to run, just not able to. And you know what? It was probably better that it didn't run. If it didn't pop off immediately on Friday morning, it probably worked out in the benefit that it just kind of jumped around all day and then closed at the very end of the day. It was actually up. So there you are right there. See, it did close. And then in the after hours, like I said, it closed right under a penny right there. And obviously the Finviz still don't have it fixed, but they'll fix it for my birthday this week. Watch. And I have faith. So we'll see if that after hours gets fixed here. But we did get the pre-market fixed. And so the candles are good for that, but you can see it ran up in the after hours right there, another 7%, and it got back over that penny, and that's what we wanted to see. And we've been watching this thing, and it's not looking bad for tomorrow, guys. Look at that little curl up. We know it's been sitting down here, just kind of hanging out, and we're definitely keeping an eye on that tomorrow morning. You already know it. And for those of you that are new listening, we do a 7 a.m. pre-market show, so you can hop on at 7 a.m. and we just crush right through the market. It's a quick 30-40 minute show, and we literally cover everything. We do our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, right into our SPY big caps, crypto. run through the scanners, see what's going on, and you will know exactly how to play the market generally. And then I keep you posted throughout the day. So there you go. That's what we do on the show. And here we are with STSS, and this has been setting up and running up and down the last few days and still trying to curl up. Let's see if it'll get out of the basement tomorrow. It was trying to on Friday because I was watching it, obviously, since we've been watching it. And look at it running up there. It got up to 3.5 cents. It closed at 3, and it's not looking bad trying to curl up. So another one to keep your eye on besides that logic mark is STSS and SUNE. We've watched this thing just kind of dip back here. Let me type it in right. It'll help out right there with Sun Nation, and it has been pulling back right here. It was up a little bit, bouncing around mainly on Friday. Nothing too crazy, and just running that bottom right there, SUNE. And yeah, look at it. It's trying to curl up, and I would say that the bottom could be in there. Obviously, it's going to have that big fish hook look, and it's not even a big fish hook. It just took a big dive, and then it just went flat right down there in the basement. And now it's trying to curl back out, and it very well could get right through, guys. So 3 of them in a row right there that you want to keep an eye on. And this BDRX was running at the end of the day on Friday, and then came back down. It was crazy. It was up at like 2 something, and then it came back down, but it does look pretty good. And it was running around on Friday, and like I said, after hours, it was bumped up there. You can see it there. It's not showing you because then right at the end of the day, it came right back down. Look at this thing, but it did. It jumped right up there. You can't see it on there either on FinViz, because it did it in the after hours and then pulled back. So it ran all the way up to 248 and then came back to 170 in the after hours. That did it on a Friday. So these things do run around like crazy, and I did see that. So it does look set up. It's in that channel looking pretty good for tomorrow. Another one to keep an eye on, but you could have like traded that just the other day on Friday. So another one that we've had on the list looking good. And how about HIT was up the other day, and this might be a hit, and we've been talking about this bad boy for a while. Look at it jump right up into that channel. This is what we look for, and let's see what it can do tomorrow, because tomorrow it should try to get rolling off of there. I'm not so sure it'll get all the way up to that 50 because it's pretty high up there, but any little run up here is good, because we were watching this thing way down here at 51, and now you're at 71. So we're 20 cents higher, cruising along on HIT, and that's not looking bad. So watch for this one. And again, will it get out of the basement? It very well could with that big old channel. If it starts moving, it has a possibility to get that volume and get moving there. So keep an eye on HIT, and it's another one we've been watching. And DMN, this one obviously dipped down the other day pretty good, and it's been dipping down. See that? It took a nice dip down there, and it is way under a penny. I mean, this thing went under, a half a cent. And yeah, it just keeps falling back. I don't know what's going on with this Damon thing, to be honest with you. I have no idea, but I would have to assume that they're not going to last very long if they don't get cruising. So we'll watch it just for the next few days to see. But if not, I would have to imagine they'll get delisted. I mean, they're running under a penny there, so you can't really do that and be on the big exchanges. So they'll get a delist letter or something, or have to get that thing pumping. So we'll keep an eye on that thing this week to see what it wants to do. And our good old APDN, it was trying to run on Friday. It had looked pretty good, and then it pulled back there. So another one that was running up there and then had a little come down on the close, opened at 112, got up to 132, and then closed back under where it opened. So did run up on Friday again, and it does look like it's making a nice base there. We'll see if it wants to come down a level, but I'm not so sure. 20's up here, coming down for it, not too far off. And we'll see what it wants to do. It is crossed through, it's been trying to move, and it lost its opportunity at one time. It had a couple times where it just couldn't get moving, and now you have that new setup period on APDN, and that's what we're looking at here. So we will keep an eye on APDN, obviously, and tell you what you want to do here. And most of this beginning of the list we'll be keeping an eye on. I took a couple of the poppers off that had already popped last week because they're already up and running down. And unless you're shorting them down, that's all they're going to do. This clue we've been watching, we'll see if it gets moving. It has that bottom look, and we'll have to see what these China small caps want to do. At any moment, these things can get cruising. We know it, and who knows with all the tariff games, but this thing is trying to get set up in a good spot. So I'm going to keep my eye on this thing a little bit longer here, and you can see it dip down a little bit. It's just not even barely dipping into the basement, running that line. So it is setting up for something, and these things can just pop off at any moment. And when they go like wild. We all know these China ones go crazy. I used to talk about it before they started going nuts and giving explanation or examples, and now we see them. It's part of that cycle. Like I said, it just happens like this, and then all of a sudden you won't see it happen for a while, and then these China ones get crazy again and start going moon into like they go like well over 100%. It's crazy what they do. So I don't know who's pumping them. Obviously, they're pumping them over there. I'd have to assume, but whatever, you get into them and get in and out because they're a little wild. And how about this UOKA? This thing runs around like crazy. Keeps setting up really, really nice. Look at this thing in a great spot there. 17 to 18, got down to 15, and it closed in the 16s. And it just constantly runs around, guys. So just keep your eye on this UOKA. We've liked it for a little while here. It's actually looked pretty good, and you see it always had these spike ups. It hasn't had one for a while, and I think it's kind of due to the way it's setting up. So you want to keep an eye on that. And LRHC was setting up. The chart did change around a little bit, but it's not terrible. I'm not going to lie. And I do think it bottomed out down there at that 16 cents. Yeah, look at it curling up here. It wasn't looking bad. It even went up in the after hours on Friday. And this is that real estate one, La Rosa Holdings. And look at it trying to get into this channel right here. And it may run up to that 22-cent area. And if it can get really cruising and some momentum, it'll get through it. We're not exactly sure, but we'll see how it opens up. That 20 is coming down. It's not far off. Again, it's right at 19 and a half. So we can get right in there and get into that channel like I was explaining, and then you could get moving. So we're keeping an eye on this one as well, LRHC, and it is not looking bad at the moment. And HEPA, this thing has just been in the basement for a while. I tried to run the other day. What day was that? April 9th, Wednesday. It was trying to run up there. And now it's still pulling back a little bit, but it has been bouncing around here. Would it go 41 to 61, and it closed at 42 and a half? And you had that run up the other day. So keep an eye on this thing as it's trying to push through this 20 right there, HEPA. And it does not look terrible. So I would keep an eye on HEPA and see what that wants to do right there. And let's see what AUUD wants to do, because this one is getting set up down here. Just a reverse split back on the end of March right there. And look at this thing curling up, made a nice base, ran up once, but not real crazy. Has your 20 and some resistance up there. It was up a little bit on Friday, and it looks like it's trying to curl up. I would definitely be keeping an eye on that one, AUUD. So, yeah, ton of them that you can keep your eye on. We make a great watch list, and if you don't know where we're going through what list I posted out, this is a list that we compile, and it's really just the listeners that send them in. I ask each night, what do you guys want to look at for tomorrow? And then we have a set few that I just keep on a list and then just kind of jot them down each night, sort through them, take off the ones that already ran because they're pulling back. And then we just kind of keep the list updated and cruising. So you always have a beautiful watch list, and it's pretty much go through it, and you'll know exactly what's popping, all the 100%ers, everything. I mean, every popper that's going to happen tomorrow is probably on this list. I'm sure it's on this list. And by the time we get done the show and everyone sends in the rest of them, you'll hear every one of them that's looking good. So that's what we do here every night. And let's look at OCGN. This one we've been tracking. It was up on Friday, hitting that resistance. And look at that good look. We have to keep an eye on this thing, guys. This is exactly what we thought. It started to get a little sketchy right there, them couple days last week, but it just pulled itself right back together. And again, it crossed down and then pulled itself right through really quick. And that means it's a pretty strong one. Look at that, guys. So I would say you might want to keep an eye on it. And for those that are new, we've been watching this thing from like way back here. I don't know exactly when. It was probably in February, I guess, or like early or middle of January, and just knew it was bearish. And we were just waiting for it to turn around. And we knew when it bottomed out down here, it ran up, and now and the whole entire chart might change. They might have something going on. It just caught my eye. We just been keeping an eye on it. But that's what it looked like it was going to do, and it pretty much did exactly that. And now we're just going to watch it to see if the chart rechanges and goes bullish, and it starts really running for OCGN. So that's we just enjoy picking out charts. So if you have anything that you want to look at, shoot it over, send a message, and we'll look at it. Post a comment, and just join the community and have a good time. So Icon down here recently split, ran up a little bit that one day. And this one is in a pretty good spot down there. But again, they definitely are just kind of bouncing around there. 210 to 217. And it closed at 209. So it is bouncing around down there. Nothing crazy on Friday. You can see it had that weird look, almost both of them right there. And we'll just see how it opens up. But it looks like it tried to bottom out at that reverse split, and it should try to get out of that basement for Icon. So we're keeping an eye on that tomorrow and just seeing if that wants to get set up to get out of that basement area down here underneath your 30 RSI, and then we'll get cruising back up. So that's what you're looking at on Icon right there, and RSLS. Oh, let me get it typed in. This one was running up the other day. What was it, Thursday? I thought it ran up like Thursday after hours. I don't really remember, guys. Well, didn't it run up Friday too? Maybe it was just Thursday. I don't remember, but it was 59 to 83. Friday, it says it went 54 to 55, so it must have just been Thursday. And we'll see what that one can do this week. It should have ran up higher, and the market was all weird that day, and that's why it was like pulling back, but we'll keep an eye on this thing because that was looking really good. Laptop Travel nailed that guy really well. And AGMH right here, AGMH. There we go. And that thing is just, look at that. It almost looks like it bottomed out there. And we were looking at this we were looking at a bunch of these penny ones to see if they actually wanted to pull back, just as that DMN did. So we were kind of keeping an eye on these things, but I don't think that they were all following that pattern. We were just looking at it because it happened, and they were dipping that one day. But I think that one based out maybe down there. Not maybe. It looks like it bottomed out down there, and it's trying to run back up a little bit. So we'll run all the way up. I don't know, but it might get back into that 4.5 cent area. So we'll keep an eye on AGMH. And a lot of these penny stocks have been good, why the rest of the market's been a lot crazier. These have been actually setting up now and running. So it's been impressive. And here is our ALLR, and this thing looks like it bottomed out there, and it looks like it's trying to curl up. Look how that big pullback. So you just have to be very, very patient with like everything. But yeah, look at that. That looks like it bottomed out at that 61 down there, and it does look like it's going to try to curl up. Now, is it going to get through the MACD? We're not positive about that. They do hit the MACD and bounce down. But as they curl up there, that's where you get your run up, and then you get your pullback, and then you have the opposite look when they're over top of them. They roll off the MACD, and they're usually the better runners, to be honest with you right now. But we look at all of them and see what they're up to and try to, just see exactly when they're getting set up and where your best opportunities are, to be honest with you. That's what we're always looking for. There's always a ton of opportunities in the market. You just got to pivot around, look at what the scanners are telling you, the charts are telling you, and just go from there. And right now you got to take it day by day because the news changes like that, and then the whole entire market changes. But we stay on top of it really well. FMTO, this guy was taking a huge dip. Remember, this thing ran up from $8 to 4 cents the other day, guys. This thing was like this was the biggest dip probably in a long time right here. 8.12 to 4 cents. Look at that thing. That's insane. And it closed at 5. And now you went down to 3. It opened at 5. It got down to 3 and got up to 6. That's a nice little run right there if you caught that little dip. But then it came down 3 to 4. So it is pulling back here, and it did cross down. You can see it going down. We'll just look at it and see if it's going to run straight, pull back there for a little longer, or what's going to exactly happen. But we are keeping an eye on that. Anytime they run up to $8, now again, it was pulling back, but it's had some massive run-ups right there, and it is kind of forming, trying to set up here. So I don't know what all these things are technically called, but it does look like some kind of flag setup, and they always look pretty good also. So I always look for obviously the patterns, but also the lines, the support lines, and just the setups in general. So, and that's all we do. We're very technical. We don't look at any news on this. If I scroll down and look and they don't have news there, that's as far as I get as to looking at news on a company. So if you're looking for that, I don't do it, but I definitely look at the charts and we run right through them and we have great accuracy. So you can just kind of look at the charts and actually know what the news is going to be. We've called out companies weeks before they announced their bankruptcy. What Big Lots? We did it with a few of them. And just said, oh, that company don't look good. They're going down, and boom, they named bankruptcy. And then yeah, we've done it. We call out the events before they even happen. Again, these charts don't lie. It's the money trail right here, guys. So those of you that listen all the time, you guys know. And how about this TOPW? These Hong Kong ones have been going crazy. They kind of calmed down a little bit, it seems like. And this thing I just been kind of watching just because it's ran way up that opening IPO. What do I keep hitting? That IPO day. And then just kind of been hanging down there. So let's see. And then I wrote IPO. What the hell's wrong with me? TOPW, that's what it actually is called, Top Win International. And yeah, it's just been kind of hanging out down here, but I would assume it's going to get set up. So it is a new one. It doesn't show you a whole lot, but it doesn't look like it's going down much further. But let's just keep an eye on it tomorrow, see if it does want to go down a level. If not, it will probably be a really good setup. And we'll have to see if these Hong Kong ones want to get cruising again or who wants to get cruising. We looked at this on Friday and it started, or Thursday night, we looked at this. Someone brought it up. And again, you guys just send in great ones. We just go through the charts. Someone looked at it and look at that. It was up almost 10%, if not higher. And remember United States Anatomy. We definitely looked at it. I wrote it down on the list the other day on Thursday night because we had looked at it and thought it looked good. And there you go. It was running up with that momentum. We thought so, 254 to 287, and it closed at 279 and still not looking bad. So keep an eye on it. It looks like it's trying to get into that top and run a little higher. So there you go at UAMY. That was a good one from somebody. I don't know exactly who. We get a ton of people sending them in, but like I say, I greatly appreciate everybody that contributes, and it's just a group effort on this show. I just kind of hang out and facilitate it and look at the charts, and then bam, we go to town. And everybody has different trading styles. We all look at different stocks. Some people like options, some like penny stocks, some like in between, and others like to trade the 4 a.m. poppers. So between that, we cover everything, but you can definitely know exactly what's going on, the SPY and all that. So, and even crypto and meme coins, we do it all. So you can just kind of fill in exactly what you like to see and what your style is, and we can fit it with no problem. And again, you can post a comment if you want to see something that's not on the list, and we will definitely take a look at it. We go through all of them and go through all the comments and knock out all the charts every night. So KDLY, this Kinley, was another one that we added to the list the other day, and it was not looking bad as well, and it was starting to move up in that after hours. What was it doing during the day? 167 to 184 and closed at 172, and another one looking pretty good right there for KDLY. So that's another two that you can keep an eye on that we added to the list the other day that are looking pretty good. And this AREC, what's that sector called? It's got a funny name. Choking coal. Is that what it is? I gotta coking coal. I just said choking coal. Holy cow. Coking coal. I was close. I added an H in there. But anyway, it's coking coal, and I've never heard of it. But these things are looking really good. There's like 5 of them. We've looked at them all. And that one looks good. AMR. That one looks really good right there. Look at that thing. That thing's setting up. Holy cow. AMR. There you go. That one looks good. What's the rest of them? AREC is what we're looking at. HCC, that one just ran up like $3. Remember, we just went over these the other day, and they're like blasting off right here. METC, that just ran up over 12% the other day, and SXC. So, what the heck is it? I'm trying to picture what his screen name is. I totally can't remember. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the guy that sends in this one all the time. AREC. It's easy one to remember too. Damn, my brain. I wish my brain worked better like that still. But anyway, he's all over and he gave us a heads up on these things, and we've been looking at them and added it right to the list. And yeah, keep an eye on that thing. And in fact, keep an eye on all of them. I have no idea what coking. We've read out what it did. Somebody told us what that does, coking coal. But we went through them, and I'm telling you, these things are looking good. Even this one's about to set up and get rolling. If it pulls back here to like your 45, not a big deal right there. But American Resources, I'm telling you, all of them are. So keep an eye on that sector right there. And that's AREC and coking coal right there. So again, I forget what the heck it does. I'm pretty sure we read it out what the industry does, and I have no idea. So there you go. That's how much I remember. If you put it in a stock ticker, I'll remember it. And I'm telling you guys, it's wild because that's exactly how my brain works. You guys see, I can tell you what these penny stocks are before I put the stock ticker in. And you guys see, I mean, I'm just looking at the same list that I print out each night. That's all I'm staring at. I take zero notes ahead of time. You guys know that because you can send me any kind of stock ticker and we look at it exactly the same for everything. So I have no idea. And but somehow I do remember a lot of the names and the stock tickers and bizarre things, the chart setups. It's bizarre. Anyway, who cares? LRPR or LPRO. What the heck am I talking about? LPRO, Open Lending Corp. And we actually added this one on here the other day as well because I had that big old setup, LPRO. And look at it. It's probably going to run up a little bit. Will it cross through? That's the big question right there. You can see it setting up and trying to go. Probably not. A lot of these follow this pattern until they go about 5-6 times. Sometimes Tesla went home. How many? Like 12 plus, or no, like 11 plus, 10 plus. I forget what it was. It was a lot though. And so now you're starting to see it again with these guys. Look at this thing. It's been trying to do it a lot. And I don't even think it's going to get through now. It's going to have a little run up, it looks like. We'll keep an eye on it. It had a big dip right there, but you can see it has big dips, and it just keeps leveling down. They all do it, and we know that pattern, so that's why it's been saving us. And that's LPRO, but it could be a good opportunity for a quick run up right there. And then BFRG. Bullfrog AI Holdings. This one was running up. I remember seeing this on Friday, the old Bullfrog. Didn't we talk about this hopping up the other day? I am almost positive we did, and it did run 175 to 220. It closed at 206. It's in that channel, and it doesn't look bad right there for BFRG. The only thing it has that resistance coming up. It's hitting the 50, so it was down a little bit. We'd have to look at that when it opens up tomorrow. Oh yeah, Justin. I'm glad that Justin wrote Wang and Lee, WLGS right there. So we're definitely gonna add that to the list. Well, like I said, we'll do them all. But I totally forgot to write that one down tonight. I don't know why, but WLGS. I just want to have it right there. And FMTO. I think I have that on the list somewhere. Didn't we just go over it or something? Because that was out. Yeah, we just went over that one right there. Born Knutson, I think. That's an interesting name. And Naya and WTO, we'll look at them too. But there's your Bullfrog running up, hitting a little bit of resistance. So we'll keep an eye on that. And what's NAYA? I know we looked at this before, and that one was hitting off the bottom right there, not looking bad, up 36 cents. On Friday, let's see what it wants to do, though. Yeah, it's not looking pretty bad. I mean, it did jump up to your 20, tried to get over it. I mean, I don't think it's getting back under there, at least for this until it runs up to this 20 for real. So where's it at? 190 and up to that 216 area. It got up to 230. That one could set up right there. We keep an eye on that. And WTO is one we looked at a lot. That's a China small cap, and that one's running up on Friday, big time there. WTO. Oh yeah, look at that guy and hitting that 20. So 119 to 234 and closed at 166. We can keep an eye on that. It could have some momentum right there. You can see it pull back in the after hours, and that's why it's underneath the 20 there and in the channel in here because the after hours candles aren't right yet, but they'll get them right. We have faith. And anyway, but yeah, it's hitting that 20 and it did pull back. So you could have a little bit of pullback. We'd have to see that when it opens right there, stocking up for future. And let's take a look and see what's going on. And see, I think Laptop Travel just posted the overnight trading leaderboards. And here we go. Wondering about the semiconductor sector since the fake news about the tariff reprieve has been officially been contradicted by Trump. And so, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure tomorrow. And he was even saying it was fake news, but Apple's on a bull, and it's up. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, guys. The market, the news and everything is just so out of control. But I'll repost this out. You guys can take a look at it, and we'll try to look at some of them. But that was on there, AAPU, and a couple other ones right there. Dell's on there, and it says that Dell's up a little bit. So we'll have to see what's going on if these things are up in the after hours. I mean, look at these setups, but then we know that they hit that 20. And again, who the heck knows what's going on with the news? Apparently it came out and said, all right, we already went through it. So we'll have to see tomorrow, but let's go through our list anyway and see what's going on because that's more important. And because again, it doesn't matter what the market is going to do. The setup ones are set up, so they're gonna rock and roll, and we already know that. So whether it's tomorrow or the next day, you have to keep your eye on them. But we do know that they like to cruise when they get set up here for the most part. And this Craig was starting to set up last week. And it looks like it did run up on Thursday. I remember we looked at it at the beginning of the week, so he did get some run up, and he probably even got a little more on Friday. Let's look at it over here. CREG, and yeah, it was running up on Thursday, a little more on Friday there, where it gapped up. It looks like it closed at 57, opened at 59, and it came back down to 53, but it closed at 57 and not looking bad. And you'll probably try to get at least hitting that line. I don't know if you're going to get through it again. The 20s coming down on it, and look how many times it hits it and bounces down. So, but when it curls up, you get that run right there from 52 to whatever it ran to the other day. I can't even tell what that says. 51 to 57. I mean, it's not 100%, but you do get nice little pop-ups, and that's all you have to look for at the moment because this market is insane. I am not going to lie. And let's see what NDRA is looking like. We haven't looked at it in a little while. It was run up last week or a week or two ago, April 7th, Monday. I do remember seeing it just on the scanner. We weren't even looking at it. I just happened to, like I said, when I was scanning around, it was up. And let's see what NDRA is doing here. Oh, it ran up a few days there, didn't it? Might have been some after hours looks right there, or it was running up, actually. I wasn't even paying attention. But yeah, it was definitely running up right there and even topped out at that 631. I think you might be coming back down right there on NDRA now that we're looking at it. So I do not think NDRA is going to be exactly popping at the moment. And I don't think this one's going to be on. It's probably just going to be on mine. Yeah. This is probably a OTC ARRNF. American Rare Earths. We did look at this thing a couple times. I know someone brings it up. It's not bad. It's at 17 cents, but it looks like it wants to run around a lot more, but it's really just kind of 14 to 8. I mean, it's not too bad right there. That's not a bad little run. Look at it curling up. But again, is it going to get through? It's got to get into this channel and get up. It is an OTC, or I wish I'd had another chart on it. It would make things a little easier, but again, I'm not a big OTC guy unless they just look perfect to me. And I mean, that one's running around right there. It's not terrible. It did run up. It's been pulling back, but I don't know. It's just like I said, it's curling up. It had that run up. Is it going to hit that MACD and pull back? It very well could. ENPH, that's end phase energy. And let's see what this one wants to do. It has earnings coming up on April 22nd. And earnings season is popping up here. So you're going to see a lot of earnings coming up. ENPH. And they're always fun too when earnings come up because then you got to play around that. But look at this thing trying to get set up. It looks like it's trying to make a base and have a little run up. Now, again, is it going to crawl through? Probably not. But will you get a nice little run up? Probably. So, one to keep an eye on to run up. And you're not looking for them to go home runs all the time. You're just looking for them to move the right way. And that's how you do it. So, Trade Desk, this one was setting up really nice the other day. And then it pulled, well, everything was on Wednesday. Wednesday was like the craziest day ever, and it was one of the second biggest days in the market. Last week was insane. This week's going to be insane too, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to be nuts. So buckle up for a wild ride because who knows? It's going to be all over the place, and it's exciting when it does it. I like it. And I think we all like it actually, but not TD. That's Toronto Dominion TD Bank, but we want TTD. And that, like I said, we're gonna have to see how these things open up. They look pretty good. I mean, the whole market looked really good on Friday. So we'll be keeping an eye on everything first thing in the morning at 7 a.m. to see how if it opens up red or green. You know that because that'll be a big determination of what it really wants to do. And again, it doesn't always hold what it wants to do in the morning, but we get a good enough look where you can say, oh, it's running up there, it's topping out, it's probably going to pull back. And usually, I mean, you're not going to be 100%, but we're pretty damn accurate here. LMT right here was running up, and we did like this thing, and bam, there you go. There's nothing in its way, guys. And yeah, it was looking really good. They do have earnings coming up on the 22nd as well. So that'll be next week. And there you go at Lockheed Martin, LMT. And that was looking good the other day. And boom, there you go. So they do get set up. They like to run. And that's just the way it works. I mean, we know that. MSPR ran huge the other day. And that's at MSP Recovery. We were looking at this. I know it was on Laptop Travel's list or one of the lists, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was on. And it ran up, I believe, in the after hours, possibly on Thursday. Yeah, it had to have because then it says it's on Friday. So it did run up Thursday in the after hours, 133 to 410. It closed at 4. And it bounced around on Friday as well. And it closed at 257. And that one probably topped out right there, especially going over the weekend and running up like that. But that was a nice hit right there. And how about Fitty? I think, isn't that like a brand new one, FITY or something? Or is it an OTC? All right, it's an OTC, or I thought it was one of them new ones, but I was thinking of, I know what, there's two new ones, Kids and something. I forget what it is. Bull, isn't it? Bull is like another one, new one. Anyway, let's go back to Fitty, FITY, Fitty One Labs right here. And I think we were looking at this the other day. Someone brought it up. And again, setting up, it probably looked like it, but it was crawling up right there. It crossed through, and now it's pulling back, is what it looks like. But these things are so hard. So if I don't have that other look on them, I can't really tell what these OTCers are exactly going to do, especially when they're like under that penny. I can tell the meme coins better with the charts. These ones, you can't really tell. They just move all over the place, and some of the charts are all right, but most of them in the OTC world aren't my thing for whatever reason. They never were. I don't know. You got to stick to what you think you're good at, or what you're comfortable with, and what you can do. And PRTG, Portage Biotech, this thing was running up on Friday. Had a big run up there and came down and just ran right back up there. PRTG. Yeah, look at that thing. I'd watch it for some 532 to 1311. Close that triple H right there, 888, 888, and it's hitting that line. What do you guys think? It gets through? It looks like it wants to be honest with you. Hit that resistance up there. It looks like it wants to on that PRTG. I'd keep an eye on that thing. That is not looking bad right there for PRTG. And ASPI, let's see. Here we go. Let's cruise right through these guys. That one's running up there and looks like a good momentum play for the morning right there. So ASPI might be one to keep an eye on at 4 a.m., guys. I would say you might want to keep your eye on that guy for some momentum. And how about Captain Kirk right here, KIRK? And what's that doing? KIRK. That one's not even looking bad. Trying to get set up. Well, let me type it in. KIRK. Kirkland's. There we go. And weren't we looking at this before? I know we were, and it's curling up pretty nice. And again, we're just going to have to keep an eye on this in the morning. It looks like it's trying to get there, but will it get through? That's the question. Again, tomorrow morning, we'll have a way better idea. And KTTT, we're just going to see if we find the ones that are really popping out to us. Like this one could get moving again some more tomorrow. Not looking bad. This is an aerospace and defense one, KTT Nauticus Robotics. And here it goes. It's cruising up into that channel. I would keep an eye on it. It looked like it was running up pretty good right there for KITT and AHER. We might have to go through some of them aerospace and defense ones maybe this week. What did I just say? AHER. That does not come up, but it might be the antelope, which is AEHL. What is the antelope? Antelope. AEHL. That's probably what it was. I guess I don't even know, but that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at the antelope because we've been looking at this thing, and it was running up last week. And this thing, look at it, running up, made a nice W right there, and now it's kind of pulling back off of the MACD. It did run up, and it looks like it might pull back there. So the antelope might take a little pullback. And let's look at TANH. And that thing looks like it could be setting up. That is a small cap China one. I know that. And they've recently, I thought they were back there at reverse split. I don't know if it has sooner than that. And again, sometimes it's not really showing them. They call it weird things. But anyway, this thing, 190 to 193, it did pull back right there. It looked pretty good up in here. It did pull back in the after hours. Wasn't paying attention, but that was curling up. I'll look at that in the morning. TANH and BGI. Burke's group right here, that luxury group one had run up for us, and now it's making a nice base down here. Look at that support line for BGI. And it is kind of pulling back. Let's see. It may pull back a level, guys, and get underneath the support line. So we'll keep an eye on this BGI. It did run up not long ago for us. And LITM, is that Snow Lake Resources? There you go, Snow Lake Resources. Remember that thing. That's really setting up right there. LITM looking good. It was up a couple cents the other day. And yeah, that thing's going to run up here and get booming. So you might want to keep an eye on good old LITM. And let's look at GRRR. I remember that was pulling back not long ago. They had earnings and it was pulling back down here, making a base. We'll see. Is it going to level back down or is it going to try to move? Let's see. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I mean, that looks like it might have tried the bottom, but I'm not confident with that one. I'd have to look at it. That you could have a little more pullback right there with GRRR. And that bull right here is Web Bull. And here you go. This thing opened. I thought it just opened up, didn't it? I don't even know, but I know it was running up in the after hours. That's all I know. Web Bull. And what did it do? 16. Like I said, I know the thing was running up in the after hours. Let's see if it's on here. BULL. Yeah, I tried to look for it earlier on here, and they didn't even have it listed. I don't think, unless it is, and I'm not even seeing it. Let me tell you, I didn't even think to do this. Yeah, it's not even popping up. Weeble. Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not popping up there. I have no idea. Is it a brand new one? Or is it just popping up? It looks like it was like a shell company and just started the other day. I have no idea, but we'll keep an eye on it tomorrow because I know it started running up in them after hours on Friday, started getting crazy. And it's probably one you're going to want to keep an eye on in the morning because you know that thing's going to be wild first thing. So keep an eye on BULL. And again, it's Web Bull. I don't know what the heck's going on. And how about the yin and the yang? The yin looks much better here trying to curl up. Again, they get confusing sometimes. And what were we saying that last week? That looks like it bottomed out. And this is the China Bull is the yin. So that one is looking a little bit better. And let's look at the yang right here. Let's look at it. It was pulling back, but then you have this thing setting up right here, and they do love to roll off. So You remember last time we played them really well at the beginning, just like here, and now they get a little bit difficult. So you might want to be patient with these to make sure you know exactly what's going on with your yin and your yin and your yang. Maybe it pulls back in here as it gets set up and runs back up. We'll have to see. And that is that yin and yang, and FNGA is that FANG index 3 times leveraged, and this one is the bull one. And look at it, it was way down. It's trying to run back up. It does look pretty good for tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie. I was liking it the other day. I was like, wow, that thing looks pretty good right there. Look at it crawling up right there. And FNGD is the other one right here. And this one is going down, obviously, and that's one's the bearish one because that's the inverse 3 times the index. That should be the bearish one, and that one looks like it's going down. So it had recently just ran way up, and now it looks like it's going back down. So we'll have to see. Maybe the market's trying to change around, but again, the news changes around so much so quick, and we'll have our eyes on these things. That's for sure. And let's see what's going on here with BULZ. I was looking, where was that thing? And that was running up. And again, that's the 3 times leveraged on the FANG as well. So that one was looking pretty good. And we'll definitely take a look at them guys in the morning. BDTX. Let's see, Black Diamond Therapeutics here. It's hitting that line right there. I'm not sure it's getting through right there. Let's see what's going on. I mean, it's trying to cross through, but you still have that 20. You'll have to get through that 157. Maybe that thing will run 142 to 157. That's what you're looking at tomorrow. Maybe a little spike into that channel. And that's what you would look for just to get set up there for BDTX. KIDZ, Class Over Holdings right here. This education and training services in the U.S. We were looking at this thing before. It's way down there. And remember, it looked like a shell company, and it does look like it's trying to get set up here and trying to curl up anyway. Again, has one of these big fish hooks, and it could take all week to try to do it because you can see it still has some time. And as it does it, it's going to bounce around. So will it run up? Yes, but it could still close lower than it did open. So you got to be careful with that as these things all the time because that's what they like to do. And that kids is trying to get crazy. So, or just get curled up, get curled up right there. So it will get crazy if it does really get curled up. And I think it has a little bit of time. But yeah, I would keep an eye on KIDZ and BTU right here. Peabody Energy. I remember looking at this one as well. We were just looking at it and it bounced off that line. And now you look like it does look like it's going to cross through tomorrow. This thing does. Not BTI. That's some tobacco one, but this guy, I mean, look at it right there. It looks like it wants to try. Look at that look, trying to hit real hard. And again, another one after Sunday, we have to take a look at it, but we'll look at this because this could be a great opportunity. We'll see if it pulls back. If not, if it gets through to this channel, you know where it's running right there, 1320, and it's going to get up to that 1430. So that's what you're looking for right there, of course, on BTU. And now let's take a look and see what our HYMF is doing here. HYMF, isn't it FM? Yeah, HYFM. What I wrote it backward. 206 to 280. We were looking at this as well, and there you go. It's in that channel, and look for it. It might not get up to 403 tomorrow, but it's not looking bad to continue to run itself up there. So that is your HYFM right here, Hydro Farm Holdings. Yeah, look at that thing running up. And I know we were looking at that the other day as well. Someone mentioned that one. And what is this one? INM. INM, InMed Pharmaceuticals, and that had run up. Look at that bottom right there. And that thing's cruising up here, INM. So there you go. And it does look like it could be, I mean, after a Friday, 315 to 336, and then way back to that 253. And I would say we'll have to keep an eye on it and see if it can stay in this channel and roll back up. If not, it's going to definitely be pulling back there on INM. And NUG and gold. We'll look at gold miners bull. and this thing way up there, and we've known these things were going to run up. And there you go. I mean, gold went nutty the other day, and it does not look bad. It's been running up like crazy and still going. So there you go for gold. Well, that's NUG, NUGT. That's the gold miners. But gold, GOLD, Barrick Gold was running up as well. And look at that big curl up. Remember, we were saying that could well get through. Has good resistance up here. We'll take a good look at Barrick Gold in the morning right here and see what it wants to do. But that is a nice little run up and a good look. Looks like it actually crossed through and got moving up to that 2060. So, yeah, it's not looking bad for gold, and we've known that's been pretty damn bullish here. So keep your eye on that. And these ones are just, I mean, this market's just jumping around like crazy. And good old Wang and Lee, definitely some guys to take a look at. And is it setting up and waiting for this line? It's so hard to tell. It's way up here, but that thing could get set up relatively soon. It crossed through, and I will be watching Wang and Lee tomorrow, WLGS, just to take a look, because it does look like it's trying to do something down here. So we have our eye on Wang and Lee, and that does sound weird, but we're watching that one because it does look like it's setting up. And there you go with them bad boys. And I think we will look at let's see, Elf right here. Let's take a look at Buddy the Elf and see what Elf Beauty's doing. That's way down, huh? I remember when that was setting up the run. And let's take a look and see what it's doing right here. ELF. Yeah, that's an interesting one, trying to get set up off that line. We'll have to look at that one for sure, Luis Rodriguez. That's a crazy look right there. And let's see what else is going on here. Let me see what you guys wrote. And Bull and Kids, I think, are like the new IPOs, I believe, or something. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of chatter about that Bull on Friday, and it was running up in the after hours right there. Wolf, remember I was looking at these Wolf and Wolf, and somebody's mentioning that one, Havoc over here, Wolf Speed, and saying that it's extremely shorted as well. And it is going straight down. Look at that thing. That thing was extremely shorted down there. And look, it could be setting up. That could be a really good one, Wolf Speed. And I know we were looking at both of these and Terra Wolf, and that one's been making a base and not looking bad. It was up 14 cents the other day, WULF. And like I said, that one's trying to get set up and curl up. So take a look at both the Wolves, WOLF and ULF, WULF. So there you go. And they both look pretty decent right there as well. And yeah, that WOLF had been extremely shorted down. That was just pulling back. And let's see. Are you into investing? Are you into investing? Okay, now I can read. You guys know I can't read. I can read stock charts. That's about all I can read. BYRG. What is that one? Is that an OTC, or let's see, BYRG here. Let me take a look and see what it's doing. Yeah, that looks like it's an OTC or buyer group. I mean, that one had run up. I would say right there it was going to pull back, and it kept going. So another one, 0.0029. Just, I just can't really tell with these things. They're hard to exactly tell what's going on with a lot of them. SDRC. Let's see, is that one going to be another one? I might as well stay over here just to see. Yes, it is. Sydney Resources. Now, this one looks like it's going to be bouncing back down is what it looks like at the moment. You can see it's been trying now. It looks like it's curling back down. And again, I wish I had a better look at it, but that's not going to pop up. It's a OTC or an XTPT. Oh, that was an OTC. Extra Energy Corp. That looks like it's pulling back too at 13 cents. So that's what it looks like at the moment on them. And again, they're OTCs. I am not the greatest at them, but I will look at any chart to see if we can get an idea. And how about ALLR? Did we not look at that? I forget. I think we definitely did, but it was down there. I know we did, because it looked like it bottomed out and it was setting up and curling up right here. So ALLR, we'll keep an eye on this one down here for sure. They look like they might have been bottoms down there at that 61. and we'll see if it wants to dip down at all anymore, another level down, or if it's getting set up. So we're keeping an eye on that one. That's for sure there, Sean. And GG wants to see NIXX. Let's see NIXX here. Nixie. I remember this one ran not long ago. I don't remember when. It was probably like one of these pop-ups. I just remember popping up a little bit. It wasn't anything that crazy. And let's see what it's doing down here, making a base. Is it going to try to move up is the question, or is it going to be trying to make a base and come down? It looks like it's making a base and popping down. So I'd have to look at that one tomorrow, GG. If you want to remind me, I'll definitely take a look at it and let you know what it looks like. And let's see the overnight what did I say? The overnight Mag 7 right here. Apple is up like 5%. Nvidia is up 3%. Tesla up 1. And then Google, Amazon, and Meta and Microsoft are all up less than 1% right there. So they do look green to, it looks like, to start for tomorrow. So that's interesting. I am D's Greasy, I think it is. I'm familiar with SVRA, Savara. I've traded this a bunch, and this one I've actually posted about this one a few. Not I don't know about recently, but before definitely. And this one definitely does look pretty interesting. We'll keep an eye on it and see if it wants to roll through. It looks pretty like it has some momentum going up there. That's for sure. And it was running up here. I remember it ran up to like in the 450s not long ago. It must have been back here. I was going to say it was probably before the new year, but it was back in looks like September, October. And it does look like it's going to try to get back over that resistance and move right there. So yeah, that's not looking too bad. EXFY, Expensify, never heard of that. Some software company, and that's got an interesting look. You're absolutely right about that. EXFY looks like it did bottom, might try to run up to that 3 area and then come back down. I don't know if it's going to cross through just at the moment, but we'll keep an eye on that. That's not bad. And Talkspace right here, TALK, and that thing, we'll have to see. I'll have to look at Talk. I have looked at this one before. It's in that channel. That doesn't look bad. I'd have to look at this tomorrow. It's not looking too bad right there. It does have some resistance in your 50s right there. I'll look at it. This one could run back up in this channel or stay in this channel, run back up into that 50 and try to move. It's got that resistance right there at $3. So that's not too bad right there. Talkspace. I'd say we keep an eye on that one as well. So there you go. D's Greasy, I believe. And there's a couple good ones right there. And DMN, we talked about that one. And yeah, that nug is up, looking good right there. So, and in the after hours, what's it up? Another $6, or was that from the other day? I'm not sure. That was from the other day. So yeah, 70.91. But yeah, that was way up there. And there you go at them guys. And let me see. Did I get it? Oh, I didn't. I guess I missed a bunch of them. I didn't even notice these. Hold on. For the U.S. chip designers such as Qualcomm and AMD that outsource manufacturing to TSM, Chinese customs authorities will classify these chips' place of origins as Taiwan, exempting them of Chinese retaliatory tariff on U.S. imports, according to Reuters. And yeah, it's all kinds of crazy, guys. I'm telling you. We'll look at them guys because we look at the semiconductors, but it is all kinds of crazy with who said what he said and what he didn't say and what's real, what's not. We've already known that. So here's a good earnings calendar. I'll shoot that out. Luis Rodriguez, thank you very much. And TSM reports on Thursday. And can we do a B hat analysis on King G? I think we might be able to knock that out. Blue Hat Interactive Entertainment right here. And that one was curling up. We were looking at it actually down here. And it ran up, I forget. But the one day, it was right here. I remember it was down here. It popped right up. And then it came back down. We watch this thing a lot, but it is hitting that 20, not looking bad. So let's see exactly what it wants to do right here. Good old B hat. And let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking bad, but I think it could get into that channel, and it's got a nice channel right there. So I'd say we could look at Blue Hat Entertainment, B Hat. Make sure it gets like right around that 219, 220 area, just to make sure it's moving up. and catching some momentum right there. So yeah, Blue Hat, BHAT, that could be a decent one right there. King G. Let me take a look. Did I WTO, we looked at that, and we'll look at NVIDIA as well, and LITM and Bull. We took a look at them guys, INM, so we got them bad boys. All right, cool. I'd say we got all that good stuff, and let's keep on cruising right along. AGH, it's a newer holdings company. Oh yeah, we've looked at this one too, and this one was down there and just recently popped up right there. We had looked at it, I don't know how many times, but I do remember looking at it a few times here. I remember it just popping up recently, and that thing looks like it's trying to. Let's look at AGH better. It's trying to, honestly. Look at that curling up, trying to get onto that 20. Yeah, we looked at it. I remember it popped up pretty good right there. So we were watching this thing right there, right before it popped. And this doesn't look like a bad setup right here. Obviously, the weekend going into a Monday, we'll keep an eye on it, but I'll jot that one down and see what it wants to do there tomorrow. And that is AGH. And let's go ahead and knock out our laptop travel list real quick, and we'll look at our Jolie's jams. We'll see what looks set up here with our laptop travel list. We'll cruise right through and do our SPY big caps, see what crypto wants to do. I know Bitcoin's right around 84,000, Sol's right around 130. It says 130 was at like 129. Ethereum's at 1613, Ripple's at 213. They were up a little bit higher yesterday. Cardano's at 63, so we'll see what they look like. As a matter of fact, we can just look real quick since we were just talking about them, and we'll just knock crypto right out real quick. Let's look at Bitcoin right here and see what it wants to do. If I could find the chart. Yeah, it's hitting that 50, and honestly, I think it's going to stay in this channel, and then you're going to have this guy get set up. Once it starts crawling up, that's when you're going to start seeing them move. That's what I think, but you do have a pretty solid area where they do want to get set up, so that is a good look. And here's Solana. Look at Solana. Looks pretty good. It doesn't appear, looks like it wants to get through that 50, but I'm not so sure it will. And honestly, that could be, that's not your 50. That's your 200 on here. That's your 200. This is going to be your 50. So I was wrong. That's your 50. That's your 200 day, I bet. And anyway, I would say that it's not going to get through there. And another one just going to get set up, but not bad at all. So they are looking much better than they were. And I think we're not too far off from these things to get moving. Look at Ethereum curling through, trying to get up here and try to do the same thing back into the 1700s right there. Ripple USD, right? Oh, what am I doing? I was like, why is going on? Ripple USD right here, XRP USD. That one is in the channel. Look how it hit that 200 day right there, came back down, and Ripple can kind of give us a better look than all of them because it looks like it's already set up ahead of time. So, and again, look at it, just kind of bouncing around. It could even stay in that channel and bounce around for a little while, and we expect them to. So that's what it looks like for crypto. What was our ETF 500 at? I think it was at a, I forget, to be honest with you. Was it at 7? I totally forget. I don't even remember, but I'll look real quick. Let me see. Let me get this thing to verify. Here we go. ETF at 7.3, it says 7.3 million market cap, and not looking too bad right there. So the days did change. It was pulling back, but again, the day just changed. If it starts moving back up, it's healthy to go up and probably get into that point, into that 9 million market cap and keep going. So we'll see what happens today. Pretty good day for ETF, and it's been looking really good. And again, we already know what that's going to be. The outcome of that thing is going to be massive, and it will be huge. So I hope you guys have been trying to just accumulate some while it was low, and you know I have been. Anyway, let's do our laptop travel list right here, and I hope you guys are enjoying the show. Any questions, let me know. And anything we missed, post it up there. I see Backgang wanted to see Weemy and LICN. We literally just did that LICN. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We did LITM. I'm so sorry. LITM, we did that one. Snow Lakes. LICN is that Lichen one that we used to do with the other what the heck? Oh, with Clue. This include they happened to reverse split on the same day. Look, this was in the basement for a while. It did have that run up the other day. I remember we weren't really looking at it. Ooh, we weren't really looking at it, but we had seen it and we were talking about it that one day. And it does look like after Friday, it's trying to pull back, but get set up pretty well here. So we will keep an eye on this LICN. So good one to bring to our attention. And again, we'll see what it wants to do tomorrow. It's right on that bottom, but if you look over here on it, is it the same no, that's definitely, I was gonna say, hold on, that's not the same damn chart. I gotta look at LICN. There we go. That's gonna help out a little bit better. All right, that might help. It did try to bottom out right here, tried to run up. I think it just kind of hangs out right there to get set up. It may try to push towards this 20. I'm not so sure it's going to get back over that 373 just yet, but it does look pretty good to try to get set up. So we have to keep an eye on this one. I'll have to see how it opens up tomorrow. And it definitely helps when you're looking at the right charts right there. So we will keep an eye on this LICN. And I'll just keep an eye. I'll look at it tomorrow, let you guys know. And yeah, I was definitely looking at two different charts. I'm like, why is this not lining up? But that's probably why it wasn't lining up there. So that makes sense. And there you go, LICM and WMII or W. Yeah, there you go. WIMI hologram. This is another China one that we've looked at, small capper, and it is pulling back, it appears, but trying to set up down the road. It's not going to be tomorrow, I don't think. But yeah, I think you have some pullback and setup period on that WIMI back gang. So there you go with that one. And here we go. ADLU. We'll do the laptop travel list. ADLU. Would I write the first one down wrong, or is it not on here? Oh my. I don't see that first one, but I'll figure out what it is. I could have, you know me, I could have written it down wrong. AUST, Austin Gold Corp. We know that one. We look at it all the time with the gold, and it is crawling up there, but hitting that resistance. I think it may have to pull back a little bit. AUST, let me see. I mean, holy cow, it's hitting that hard. I'll look at that tomorrow, especially being a gold one. We know that they've been crossing through, but it does look like it has that setup period where it does kind of want to pull back a little bit. So AUST, we will keep an eye on that tomorrow. I'll look at that when I usually do anyway. And BTOC, Armlogi Holding or something. I don't even know, but it's just pulling back here into that channel. Let me get a better idea of BTOC. And that's just in that channel. I'll have to look at it and see if it looks like it wants to pull back down out of the channel. How about the Dolphin DLPN? This one's curling up pretty aggressively right here. The Dolphin looks like it wants to jump out of water over there, doesn't it? DLPN. Let's see what it's doing here. Yeah, look at Dolphin way down there for a bottom. Look at that big hard curl up right there, hitting some resistance. I would definitely take a look at the Dolphin tomorrow. DLPN, see what that wants to do, and ENFY and Lightify or something. And this one had been trying to get in a good spot right there, and now it looks like it's in a pretty good spot, guys. ENFY, look at this thing. And remember, when they start doing that Pac-Man look towards each other, they usually been bouncing up. That's another one you probably want to keep an eye on. ENFY, ETVY. Let's see what ETVY is doing here. Is that not right? Yeah, I think that's what I wrote down. I don't know if it's right, but that's what I wrote. I don't see it, but something there. There's an ETV. I don't know what that is, but we'll look at it and see if it comes up. Eaton Vance Corporation. I don't think this was it, but that one's trying to crawl up, probably hitting that 20 right there, but an interesting one to look at. And again, I just don't see ETVY, but I have no idea. I could have written the wrong things down. G-Tech right here. I know this one. GTEC Greenland. And this one looks like it's going to try to roll off, guys. And these ones are usually the best runners. So, like, at this moment, they're most solid ones, we'll say. We'll look at it. It's in that spot where it started pulling down, but we know they pulled themselves back up and then try to get curling back into that channel. So that's one to look at. And HITX, Another one, I don't know what's going on here. IR, IR, what the heck's that say? IRIX? Yeah, IRIX right here. And let's see what this one's doing. That one is just sitting right on that 20 right there. IRIX right here. And yeah, just kind of a little bit of pullback. It was in the channel right there and pulled back a little Friday. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow right there. And let's see what CAP is doing, KAPA. And we're familiar with this one. We've looked at it. It's in that channel trying to get set up, and this one could get moving. So this is one to keep an eye on. And I think this has been on the list the last few days. LIDR AI. We've looked at this before a few times, and it's run pretty well actually a few times for us. LIDR, and it's like AEYE AI. And let's see, it did jump into that 20, and it does look like it wants to get to that 50 at 68. It's at 63, so it's one to keep an eye on. It will run up a little bit. LVLU, I know we looked at this last week, and it was trying to set up. It was up a little bit, and it is looking pretty good right there. LVLU, so I would be keeping an eye on that fashion one right there. They're looking pretty good. And MBIO, I think, is a Mustang, right? MBIO. Mustang Bio right there, and that thing looks like it's going to run like the Mustang. Finally, I know we were looking at it the other day, and it never really got moving at all. And if I type it in, I'll finally get to it. And yeah, look at it. We were looking at it back here. It was trying to run up, I remember, and then it came back down. Now it actually looks in a better position right there for that Mustang MBIO. So you want to keep an eye on that one tomorrow as well. And MLEC Mulek Sciences. Let's see. That one ran around on Friday. I got to see what Mulek did. What is it? EC. Yeah, MLEC, a big run around 59, almost 60 to 73, and then came back to 67, but not looking bad. It's still in that little channel right there and could still stay in there tomorrow. So that's not bad at all. NCPL. Oh, I definitely messed that up. Net Capital right here. And I know we looked at this plenty of times. NCPL. And it did jump into there. Let's see. I don't know. I was going to say, is it going to stay in this channel? But on this one, it doesn't look like it wants to. I'd have to look at this tomorrow. And again, it looked like it did. That it didn't run down in the after hours. It doesn't say, but it doesn't look perfect. I'll look at NCPL. If it stays in that channel tomorrow, it might be a pretty decent one right there. NRSN. What's that one? Neurosense Therapeutics, and this one's in that channel and running up. It was up 7 cents. It says it pulled back right there, so let's take a better look at it. And it did run up 103 to 107, and it's back down to 96. Yeah, it's probably going to pull back off that line again. It gives you that look that we know. That's why we love that pattern, guys, because it definitely tells you exactly what's been going on in the market. And then you just play the news and take the charts and see what they want to do. And if you run it like that, you do pretty well. Arcon or Recon, it's all RCON. Recon Technology is another China one. It pulled back on Thursday, and now it looks like it's going to try to roll off right here. RCON. Yeah, look at this thing. Looks like it's getting set up right there, guys. I bet that one's going to get rolling. It looks like it anyway on Friday's look. We'll take a look at it tomorrow. And so does Scorpius Holdings. SCPX looks pretty good as well. So we might want to keep an eye on that. And here's some good ones right here. SCPX. And look at that thing getting jumped up there. So there you go at RCON and SCPX. They're two good ones. Stardust is SDST. Starbucks, is it or something? What is it? Stardust? Yeah, Stardust. And that one finally started to run up there on Friday. Good old Stardust. And that's one we've been looking at for a little bit. And we just kind of watched it down here, base out. And there you go, back into that channel. So that one's good right there. Remember, it was in there and then it came back down. Now it's back in. Looking much better for your Stardust. You can keep in momentum. Look on that. SELX right here. And that one is actually trying. That one could get rolling off too as well. SELX. Let's see. Yeah, that could get rolled off right there. We'll look at it tomorrow. I had that pullback look on Friday, so anything could happen for tomorrow. SMGI, is that Smith? There's a Smith one that's like that. SMSI is what I was thinking. I don't know, but we'll look at Smith Micro Software. And this one actually doesn't look bad, guys. It could be this one, SMSI. Yeah, it could have been that one, SMSI. And definitely not looking bad. So I would keep an eye on SMSI. Yeah, that looks really good right there, guys. I'd definitely keep an eye on that. I bet that's what that was supposed to be. And SOAR right here, SOAR. And this one, remember, we were talking about it trying to soar back up, and there you go. It's trying to roll. So I would keep an eye on SOAR because it does look like it could. Up to 256, that would be a nice SOAR right there. And good old swag bag right here was cruising along on Friday, getting its swag on. Let's see what it did. SWAG. And yeah, it was running up, hitting that resistance right there. And it does have a good setup, SWAG. And again, it could run up a little bit more, has some resistance. So we'll keep an eye on the swag tomorrow. And how about VEEA? And that is VEA Inc. And that thing's curling up really nice right there. So I would keep an eye on VEA. Wow. Yeah, that one looks pretty good right there. I would say I would definitely keep my eye on that. And let's look at VSA right here. Oh, that's that TCTM Kids one, that China Education and Training Services. And look at this thing, guys, trying to get set up. Remember, we were looking at all these things. I think this VSA is looking really good, guys. So you might want to take a look at that thing right there, VSA. That's looking really good. And there you go with your laptop travel list. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel, because that's a hell of a list right there. VSA at the end, really good. VEA and a lot of other ones at RCON and SCPX looking good. Stardust powered, Starbucks or whatever it's called, Stardust, SDST looking pretty good to try to run up more. And even at SMSI was looking really good. So many of them looking good right there. Keep an eye on them guys, and let's look at our Joey's jams. Our Joey's jumpers are in the morning, and here's our Joey's jams right here. And Agrify, guys, I'm telling you, this thing is getting set up right here and wants to get rolling. So keep an eye on it. We've been watching it. Obviously, it's always on here, but look at it getting set up. So you can keep an eye on that and see when it's ready. It's going to get ready relatively soon right here. And let's see what Blink Charging's doing, BLNK. And that thing looks like it finally bottomed out, popping out of the basement. And Blink, let's see if it looks a little better. Look at that thing looking a little better, trying to base out. We'll keep an eye on Blink, too. That could be a great opportunity down there. Look how beaten down it is. It's at, 70-something cents? And there you go, a BLNK. And Sezzle, what was that doing? That was up 218, 219. Trying to roll up there, guys. It looks like it's going to get cruising up into that 41 area. So that's what Sezzle looks like at the moment, SEZL. So, yeah, that looks like it is going to run up some more. So keep an eye on Sezzle to run up. And that's Sterling Infrastructure. Remember we said this thing's going to roll up? I have a feeling this thing's going to get blasting off, guys. And it was all the way up at 200 area before. And we were looking at it down here at 100 and said it was looking good. And now it's at 137. So there you go with Sterling. And good old Rivian, that's getting set up. At least it was. It's making that base. And it is. Let's see what it's doing. It was trying to crawl up the other day. I do remember looking pretty decent. It is getting set up. We'll see if it jumps in there, if it or if it has like a couple more days of setup period where it's running a little flat for Rivian. And Symbotic right here, SYM. And this guy looks like it bottomed out down there, and it's going to try to at least run up into this resistance up there into the 23 area. So there you go at SYM and our Joey's Jams. So there you go. And let's see what else is going on here. I think we have everything under control for the most part. Yeah, I think we got everything there. Now we got to do our SPY, big caps, and all them guys, and our Mag 7, of course, and then we'll go through our scanners and all that good stuff and see what's going on and what looks really good for tomorrow. So here we go, guys. I know the SPY was up, and it closed up a little bit, and it looked pretty good. Look at us hitting that line. Is it getting through tomorrow? I mean, it is going to be a crazy one tomorrow, guys. I just don't think it is yet. And the reasoning behind it is it's easier to play it down here and keep it bouncing around. Your 20 still coming down. Why put it in that channel just yet when they know they have to buy a lot more time? So that's what it looks like at the moment. We'll see it at 7 a.m. And honestly, I'll see it even before that because FinViz will start moving at 4 a.m. And I love that now that it moves early in the morning and you get an idea before 7 a.m. of what the market. So yeah, 4 a.m. you can get a good idea there. And maybe they should try to do it on Sunday night, just do it overnight, but that might be asking too much, huh? Anyway, here's Apple. Look at that thing looking great, guys. I mean, Apple looked like it wants to run up there. It was pulling back a little bit in the after hours, and then Laptop Travel said it's up in the up. So these things could run up to these lines and pull back down and then really get crushed down. That's what it almost looks like to me. They look like they want to crawl up to them lines and then come back through. I don't think they're ready to run them up all the way through. So that's what I think is going to happen here. Maybe they don't even run them up to them lines, but that they're set up. Amazon was setting up here, and you can see I don't think that's getting through right there. And look at it. It's trying to curl through. It might have even done it. Let's look. It did, but that's that spot where it pulls itself back. Maybe it runs up through the 20 to 190. I don't know, but we'll look at them in the morning. I just don't see them going like crazy right there. It wouldn't make much sense to me. And that is Amazon, and Google right here was up, and that's hitting that 20, looking curled up like crazy. And I could see it getting pulled back there, not getting into that channel again. It is crossed through though, but do they really want it in that channel? Because unless they put them in the channel and then bring them back out, they've done it a couple of times before too. So they did it there. They've done it with other ones. And again, you just have to think like them. They don't want this thing. There's Filtrate. There you go. Filtrate. We were talking to you already. And AREC, we put it on the list and we went through them guys and they were really nice. So, and you said what, CRML, Critical Metals Corp? Yeah, you did talk about that one, didn't you? And that did pop up there big time. Good call there. Filtrate, like it. CRML. See that, guys? And that's going to continue to run. That looks like it has great momentum right there. CRML. So jot that one down, everybody. So yeah, Filtrate, he's the one. I couldn't think of your name. I'm sorry. My memory's terrible. I was trying to picture what your thing looked like, and I couldn't do that either. I used to be great at that. But anyway, who cares? And but you did give us the coking coal ones. Trying to remember. And yeah, they're all set up. I'm telling you, never even heard of that sector, but definitely good ones to keep an eye on, and that's for sure. And we were just looking at Google right there, and that is Google. And like I said, it's hitting that 20, hitting some resistance. I'd be surprised if they really want them to get rolling there. How about Meta right here, META? That was kind of pulling back, hitting that line, not really going through right there for Meta. And look at it. I could see Meta definitely pulling back there. For sure, I could almost see Meta coming back down. And Microsoft, that was trying to run way up in, and it got into that channel, but it had already gotten in there. And remember, we did say Microsoft was one of the few that might get moving. I think we said like Microsoft and Amazon, actually, and I'm not even sure if Amazon, but Microsoft's looking pretty good. So that one could. And let's look. Amazon did cross through a little bit. We'll see. I'm not so sure Amazon's going to run. Microsoft not looking bad. NVIDIA, look at this one hitting that line. It looks good. It did cross through, but I don't know if it got into that channel. It's just poking in there, but you could tell that if they wanted it in there, it would have popped up and could pull right back down. So we'll keep our eye on all of these because we go through them every morning anyway at 7 a.m. So we'll be going through them. And then we'll look at our good old Tesla and see what Elon's Tesla's up to, TSLA. And just setting up, see if you can catch that 228 area. If it comes down right now, it does look like it might pull back a little bit. But Tesla is getting set up, and so is the market, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to get booming. And we already know what's going to happen. And I would not bet against the USA right now, and I wouldn't bet against this bet against these dips, that's for sure. You better be looking at them to acquire them. So keep an eye on these bad boys, that's for sure. Let's look at AMC. and that thing looking pretty good. And again, we've been talking about AMC, GameStop looking good. It was running up some, and they're not looking bad still. Chewy. Yeah, Chewy, CHWI. Remember, that was getting set up. That actually ran up faster than I thought. CHWI, good old Chewy. Look at that. Got into that channel and just ran up. And what was Unity doing? I don't even remember what it was doing Friday. It was just kind of hanging out there, hitting that line. We'll have to see if it breaks through, but I don't even remember. Yeah, I don't know if that one's going to get through, but the other ones were looking pretty damn good. And that Chewy was setting up. It did run up pretty quick. And Netflix, look at this thing just kind of bouncing around. I could see Netflix bouncing back down a little bit right there. Yeah, I could see Netflix coming down and not going through exactly at this moment. And let's take a look at our semiconductors AVGO. That was way up, and it is in that channel. There's your blue screen, everybody, and here's AVGO over here in that channel, not looking bad. So I could see AVGO kind of moving up a little bit. MU, I could see that coming back down a little bit right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one, and we'll see what's going on with MU right there. But like I said, that could pull back, and let's take a look at TSM. And that thing was running up, looking good, and another one just kind of crossing, about to hit the line, not crossing through is what I was trying to think of to say. It's about to hit the line, not crossing through, and I could see it bouncing back down. So that's what it looks like at the moment to get set back up, and I could see it doing that. SMCI super microcomputer just getting set up right here. You can see these things will be bullish. Let it bounce around and get really set up. They're just not exactly ready, so you can tell it's not all perfect and all ready just yet, but it's getting there. And AMD is another one that looked pretty good. Look at this thing crawling up. You could have it running up here into the 100 and then pulling back there for AMD. And again, yeah, it's not looking too bad. I don't know if it's going to be crossing through right there, but it's not looking bad if it runs up. And how about Qualcomm? That one does the same, looks kind of the same. Like it would run up there, not cross through, but could easily run up, hit the 20 real quick, and then retrace back. So that's what they look like, and we'll go through them in the morning as we usually do. And how about Intel right here, INTC? And this one is just sitting on a support line, but looks like it's got its earnings coming up April 24th, which is next Thursday. And INTC right here, yeah, I would say INTC would pull back is what I'd have to think, is what it looks like. Has that good support, but it could come back down here into the 18 area. So that's what we're looking at to see if it does that. How about PayPal right here, PYPL? And that thing was curling up really good. And another one, we'll have to keep a close eye on this because it's getting really close to hitting that line. And we'll see if it can cross through. I just don't think they're going to do it, guys. I think we need more time for it to set up. And they need to buy themselves a little more time. Snow trying to get through in that spot where it can pull itself back down. And you can see Snow come back down right there. And that 20 curling it down. It had to get into that channel right there. And tomorrow it'd really have to be crazy. Like they'd have to make something wild going on. Microsoft celebrating 50 years. No shit. I had no idea. That's pretty wild. Yeah, MSFT. All right. What is it? There we go. They're celebrating 50 years. I was just looking to see if it said it down here somewhere. Anyway, I believe you. I don't doubt it one bit, but yeah, that's pretty wild right there. And they're not looking bad. That's why I went back on it. But yeah, there you go. And that is your Microsoft's doing 50 years, and Snow looks like it's going to be coming down. Dell was up, and I think you said it was up in the after hours. And again, I could see them being up in the beginning and hitting these 20 areas, popping up to these lines, and then pulling back down. I could see that happening first thing. So watch it early. It could be green and then turn red. We've seen it a million times. And good old Palantir right here. This is another one that's kind of set up and could get moving there, like kind of like Microsoft. It's in that channel, and it could just keep bouncing around there and get set up. So that one's not a bad one as well. And how about Sophie? This one's just been in that downward trend, but it's been bouncing around, and it's going to hit that line. And another one, I don't think Sophie's just ready yet. Yeah, I think it's going to hit that and have to pull back there. So that's what it looks like to me. if they go through and go nuts, I'd have to think that we have like really good news and we're really in the clear or something, because that's what that kind of looks like to me. And how about Mara and Riot? We already did our. Oh, Mara looks really good. Holy shit, Mara looks super good now, huh? Trying to set up hardcore right there. Get up here, Mara. Come on. Where are you at? Where'd you go? There we are. Yeah, look at Mara getting into that channel. Mara looked really good right there, guys. Might want to keep your eye on Mara and crypto. I'm telling you, it's going to get set up relatively soon, and so will this market. I think all of this will be blown over relatively soon. They got work to do. They just got to try to get a couple things ironed out here, and they can get cruising. Riot looks like it's ready to get cruising too, and cause a little riot down there. MicroStrategy's up, and I know that was looking pretty good the other day. Let's see what it's doing here. That's curling up. Actually, MicroStrategy looks like he's in a spot where he could go cruising right through. So these things look good for the crypto side. Clean Spark right here looks pretty good too. And I know that was looking good on Friday. I remember looking at it and saying, damn, that thing's getting set up. But these things are all getting set up. Look, it's hitting that 20 and crawling off. I remember seeing it rolling off there, and it was looking pretty good. And we do like them roll offs. And there's Coinbase right there, and that one's not looking bad. So at 175, whatever. So yeah, Coinbase not looking too bad, I would say. Hitting the 20, we'll see. It could get right through that, get into the channel just like Hood did. Hood got into that channel right there. And let's see what's going on. HOOD. And yeah, look at Robinhood looking pretty good. I would say Robinhood looks pretty solid as well. So keep your eye on that one. HOOD. And then DJT was looking pretty good too. Let's see, it's hitting that 20 right here, and it's not looking bad. I mean, he's kept it up there. Obviously, it's not getting through. It wasn't the channel, pulled itself back, has some time, but not terrible right there for the Trump media. And good old Funware right here, PHUN, making a little base down here. It's up 7 cents on Friday. It looked like it bottomed out down there at that 222. And here you go, PHUN. And I mean, it's a nice curl up, but I think you might have a little bounce down. We'll have to see. I doubt it's getting through like that. And how about MTN, good old Val Resorts? And this thing had hit that bottom there. It looks like it's trying to curl up, and it had a really nice dip right there. Look at that thing all the way down to the 129 area. That was crazy. Right now it's at 142. You caught that. That was a beauty. And another one could get rolling back up, but probably won't get crossed through. So that's what you're looking at for Mountain Valley Resorts, MTN, and McDonald's right here, MCD. And that one did look good the other day. I still don't think it gets crossed through, but it's pumping it up there. You have that resistance at 320. It could run up. I'm telling you, some of these could run up in the morning and then hit it. Look at that thing was rolling up there, but it couldn't possibly get stuck right on that MACD. And that's where it pulled itself back at. And how about Boeing right here, up $1.32, and another one looking a little flat, could run up a little bit. Nothing real crazy there. Space is always pulling back, it seems like, at the moment. And it's actually not looking bad to try to get set up off that line. We'll have to look at Space. Another one, is it going to crawl through? We doubt it, but I mean, this thing's been beaten down pretty well. And if it comes down, then you got real good support right there. So we'll look at Space. And if it, like I said, if it comes down that far, it'll look pretty good. IBM was up, and that one's crawling up. And another one, I think, will hit that 20 and probably pull back right there. And how about Disney, Walt Disney World? That one was pulled back. Let's see. That one looks like it's actually going back down a little bit off of there. Yeah, Disney doesn't look exactly great. It has great support, though, but it looks like it's going to retest it or at least pull back to it somewheres there. And how about Oxy and ExxonMobil just making bases down here? They got slaughtered the other day as well. And there you go with ExxonMobil, another one making a base and trying to curl up. So they're probably two good ones to keep an eye on. And Nike right here got slaughtered down, making a base down here. So that's not bad as well. And then DXYZ right here. Look at that sitting on a base. So we'll see if it wants to get pumped up or hit that MACD and come way down here into that channel. And then that would be a really good opportunity. So you could still see a little more dippage this week, and then we get popping because they're right there, but I don't think they're exactly ready just yet. And there you go. That was a pretty good, solid review right there for a Sunday night. Go through everything, look at it all. Let's see. Trump doubles down on keeping U.S. steel control in U.S. hands. The dollar extends drop to fresh 2025 lows as tariff saga rolls on, and Nasdaq set to lead Dow. S&P 500 higher on tech tariff pause amid mixed signals. Yeah, I don't even know what the hell's going on, guys. And stock futures rise after a wild week as traders weigh surprise China tariff exemptions. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on. Stock futures open higher after tech tariff gyrations. So we'll see what it looks like in the morning. Obviously, here's your futures right here, and like I said, I don't know how when this is all updated on this, how accurate it is. 1020, it does say so. Maybe it is pretty few. And the futures are up, gold and S&P. So yeah, maybe they are kind of up right there. Who the heck knows? There you go. That looks like a new one right there. Where'd this list come from? FATN, that's a new one. I know Fat Pipe. I know we looked at that. I think someone wanted to look at it. Yeah, we'll look at that. That's so new that you can't even get a really good idea on what it's even trying to do right there. But yeah, it says that these things might be up in the future. So we'll definitely be looking at them in the morning. You guys know that. Let's see what's going on over here. If we see anything crazy that we didn't see. How about that bond, guys? That ran over 100%. I keep forgetting to put it on there, but we are definitely early for that one. And LGMK, you're going to want to keep your eye on. And Lucid was kind of pulling back. It is setting up. It was just pulling back a little bit. And let's see what else. That's that MicroStrategy, the 2 time ones, and Apple and all them guys right there. So let's see. Did I just, yeah. IQ, that's pulling back. And FXI, isn't that the China large cap? That's trying to get set up right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And again, the yin and the yang, we looked at them guys. And Pfizer, look at Pfizer. Looks like it's trying to get set back up there. And good old Rig, that one doesn't look bad. Transocean, whatever. And let's see what else is in that. American Airlines, they got beat down pretty good, huh? They were way down there. Let's see if anything else grabs our attention over here real quick. Let's just see MMA. Look at that. Oh, guys, were we not all over MMA the other day? And we definitely saw this on the scanner, right? MMA. We had this on there. Mix. Remember, I said it was going to fight. That popped over 100% Friday. I didn't even realize it, but there you go. That's why I listen to the show. We pick out everything. It's crazy. We pick out so many, I can't even keep track of them. Let's put it that way. I mean, that's a really good problem when you're giving out so many 100%ers that you don't even care to post them anymore because they're just nonstop every day and you can't even keep track of them. That's a pretty good problem, guys. We have that problem all the time, I promise you. So it's not like it's one time here and one time there. It's on the daily, and again, it's just every single popper we go through it. When pick them out and just know that they're set. You can't. And another thing, new people listening, you don't want to trade them all. You just want to pick the ones that you're comfortable with, the confident ones that you like that fit your trading style, and you attack them and trade them smart. And that's all you have to do. We do go through a huge list, and again, I'll post out the my notes, and you guys can take a look. But you guys know I mark up the ones that are going to pop for the most part. We keep an eye on some of them, and we keep a nice list because they just get set up, and you got to keep an eye on them. But that KIDZ, we're keeping an eye on that one. That one's weird fact, but I wouldn't look at it. And that WTO, we looked at it, was up. And how about that SHPH? That was running up, I think, in the morning the other day. Let's see if anything else grabs my attention. There's that FMTO, that huge dip right there. And let's see what else is happening here. Nothing too crazy, I would say. So there you go. I would say that's a pretty good Sunday night market review. I think we got to everything. Let me see. Yeah, I think we got all that, and we did all them bad boys. And let me see if we got all over here. I think we did. Yeah, I'd say we nailed everything, guys. And with laptop travel. I just missed that one. Looking at the ETF 500 chart. Let me see. Oh, dude, that thing is gonna go freaking insane, dude. ETF 500. If I wasn't in and I just looked at that chart real quick and it just went to 7.5 market cap, um, it jumped up as I'm telling you, you could see this thing easily once it gets back to a pen. Now again, it already ran to like 4.5 cents, and then it pulled back when everything else started to pull back, and it held its weight pretty well. And obviously now it's doing pretty good down here, up here at the 7.5. When you get back to that penny area and you get back into that 10 million market cap again, I think it's going to really just start taking off. And obviously, crypto looks like that's going to start really taking off. And this thing, guys, you could easily see this thing at 50 cents in like a heartbeat. It's practically locked up, and the thing could just start rolling. And yeah, as Solana starts getting back, I mean, it's at what? What's Solana at? What did we even say it was at? I totally forget. 135 at the moment. So yeah, it's actually not looking bad. And did it just go up that much? Was it at? Well, it definitely wasn't up there, right? Let me see something. Let's see. Where is it? Well, yeah, it is. Damn, look at that. So it did just jump up. So yeah, that's looking pretty good. I'm telling you, these things are trying to get set up, guys. Solana did look good. So yeah, you see Solana start really rolling. And you're gonna see these other ones get rolling. And I'm telling you, that's gonna be the biggest coin. It just Zach just knows what he's doing with it, and you know what he did with Farcoin, and that's what we base it off of. These meme coins literally mean nothing. They do absolutely nothing. We went over it a million times. I've talked about them. I made my own, so I know. And he just has the community to following. We've been buying it. We all like it, and people just been buying it and holding it. There's a lot of big holders on it, and yeah, thing's gonna get cruising, guys, and you'll see that thing flying up there. So I would say you could see it anywhere from 50 cents, $1. You could, I mean, these things could be really, really moving like crazy. Like I say, it could be changing your life like wild. And I have a feeling in a few months that's going to be happening with it. So that's why I told you to, just accumulate it. Why it was really, really cheap down there. It was great at like that 0.003. I was just buying the hell out of it. I told you guys why it's cheap. I'm gonna buy it. I didn't think it was coming any lower than that. And I did. I got enough. And I still been just buying a little more here and there because I feel like it's going to be probably the biggest return you're ever going to see. So that's what it looks like to me anyway. And you know, we're always a couple months early for everything. So there you go, everybody. I would say that's a good market review on a Sunday night. Thank you everyone for tuning in, hanging out, and posting up a lot of stock tickers and contributing. I greatly appreciate it as always. And again, if you're not following along, follow along on X, YouTube, and all that good stuff. We do shows every Sunday night at 9 p.m. through Thursday night. So Sunday night to Thursday night, they're always 9 p.m. And then Monday morning to Friday morning, 7 a.m. So there you go. We do them 9 p.m. at night, 7 a.m. every morning. We do the pre-market. We run through everything. Like I said, our Joey's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, crypto, big caps, SPY, scanner, all that good stuff. And we do it within 30 to 40 minutes. And boom, we knock it out. We know it's going to happen every single day. And then I keep you guys posted because we know it's going to jump around. But we get a good look and know pretty much which way the market's going to run. And over the weekends, obviously, anything can happen. So you got to base it off the news. But that's what we do. And I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. And as always, all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only. It's not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And I will see you guys at 7 a.m. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Let me know what you guys thought. And I will see you at 7 a.m. So be sure to tune in so we can catch the pre-market show, see what the market's going to be doing tomorrow, catch the poppers, and we'll rock and roll and catch all the action, because I think we're going to see a lot more action again this week, just like we did last week. And again, we have a short week this week, only 4 days. Friday, the market will be closed for Good Friday and my birthday. So there you go, everybody. Have a great night, and I will see you guys in the morning at 7 a.m. So catch you then. Have a good night, everybody.